This video is just a quick demonstration of the different destruction materials included in this pack by default. You have destruction with concrete rebar within the wall. You have the destruction with plaster to brick, or concrete even, I don't even know. This one is lathe, destruction to like wood lathes. Obviously the meshes have their own tessellation generated in them. Generates normals for them and everything. So you can see, all dynamic. The next stop is the wood, which it goes from regular paint to no paint to chipping away to warping and even tessellating, which you can't really see much in this version, but I could adjust the tessellation in the material to really go crazy with it if we wanted to. And there are options for painted wood or stained wood. Next one is the metal materials, which you have options to include or not include rust. As you can see, the paint kind of bends its normal, so it looks like it's peeling away. All dynamic. I mentioned before. Infinite variety. Leaking, dirt, grunge, dust, all that good stuff. Edge wear. And edge of normals. The paint has the edge of normals generated as well. Another example. And it actually leaks rust too. Not perfect, but it looks great. This one, I made this as geometry before I actually had tessellation available in Unreal Engine 5, before we had displacement. And I made a material that basically has infinite detail. You can tile the grout or the destruction or the tiles themselves independently of each other. And it uses the same principles of being able to blend the texture array and dithering. The edges of the destruction and the paint also generate their own normals. Don't know if you could see it too well here, but it's really thin, but it's there. It gives that little extra added detail. Obviously, the same dirt effects and grunge effects apply with distance fields and AO that are baked into the mesh. These ones are more simple materials where you just want dirt and edge wear. So you could barely tell. I don't know if you could tell from video compression, but the edges have some scratches and grinded away on this. Obviously, there's also dirt building up in the crevices, and you could adjust that like you can see here. Same with tiling. Now, this is one interesting thing, though, I forgot to mention, which is the local triplanar method instead of the world. You cannot use, or should not use, -1 scaling, because if you do, it will break up tiling. It won't match from part to part. Like right now, this one matches part to part, but if it is in the -1 in the X, for instance, then it will not. So it's best to either create duplicate meshes that are scaled in a -1, or just, well, don't use negative meshes. But there's a lot of variety that I included in this, including carpets, simple metals, rubber, painted walls from interiors that are actually edge-weared away. As you can see the edge wear, again, this generates the nice little normals along the edges. But move on to this, and this is probably the most simplest material, which has an option for... This is just added grunge. Like if you have a PBR material, just throw your textures in here. You could add the grunge. Or if you have tessellation as well, this does support tessellation, as you can see here. No added destruction in these, just simply if you want things to working your environment better and dirty things up some more, it will respond with distance fields, dirt, and all that other good stuff. Top down, leaking damage, and all that other good fun stuff. And I did add a bunch of modular meshes in here as an example of how to create them. Now, what's interesting about these is they do have a tiny lip for the tessellation. Now, what I did was I baked the normals. I copied the normals off a flat mesh so that they all point forward. Can't really illustrate that here, I don't think, but basically it's to keep the tessellation going in the correct direction, but also leave that little lip in there so that nanite could properly cull meshes between each other and keep it modularly so you don't see past these meshes, as well as keeping the normals looking good so that they blend between each other. And one thing you want to do often is you want to increase that normal precision to instead of the default, because I did notice that there was some specularity highlight changes in between if you don't. But this is a good setup. I mean, you could technically just use these walls and carve windows into them if you wanted to do that. So, next up, I'll show an example scene that I'm messing with and the benefits of this workflow.